What's up, y'all? It's Kay, and I'm back with another video. If you're new here, then I speak about healing, I speak about authenticity, personal growth and development, and mental health. And today I'm going to be doing a video about healing specifically because a lot of people ask me, how do you heal? How do you start the process of healing? So I really want to just put it out there and show y'all it's not as complicated as a lot of people make it out to be. And if you're not new to my channel, then you already know that we just about to jump right into it, get into it, and talk about it. So let's go. The first steps to healing is acknowledgement. We have to acknowledge what it is, the center of the problem. For me, one thing that I really had to heal was my anger issues. And I really didn't know where to start. I'm like, I don't know where the fuck my anger coming from. I just know that I'm angry. I just know that people get on my nerves and I get irritated by the smallest things, right? You have to acknowledge what that looks like for you. So I'm gonna give y'all an example. Like when I was going through my high school years, my anger and my resentment just started to build up a lot, and I found myself like in a lot of conflict around me. Like I was just like lashing out at a lot of things, and then I'm like, this really is not me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really like this bubbly, goofy person, but the smallest things will set me off. And I'm like, why is this happening? Like, why am I constantly getting set off by the smallest things? It could be as simple as, you know, somebody saying the wrong things to me, whether or not they meant it or not. Like I'm just ready to pop off. And I had to acknowledge that I had that behavior. I was lashing out. Once you finally admit to yourself that, okay, I do have a problem, that's when the healing starts. Because now you have acknowledged that you are not perfect and it is something that you have to work on. And once you honest with yourself and you can tell yourself like, man, I'm tripping, I need to get it together, that's going to lead you to the healing process. That's going to get you through the process. The second step is recognize. To recognize the patterns. How many times you lash out a day? Who you lashing out on? What sent me off? An example for me, like I was just lashing out in disrespect of like certain character traits that I have, and I feel like it's okay because I have these character traits. And what I realized was not only was this happening in my outside world, it was happening in my inside world as well, like with family and friends. Like they really disregarded my feelings. I wasn't able to express myself, and a lot of the times I felt disrespected because I wasn't able to do that. And if you know, you know, you can't just lash out on your family when you a certain age, because then it just looks like you being disrespectful, you're not listening, you know, you just acting out. You know, I had no choice but to just act out in my environments wherever I was when I wasn't at home, because it's like this behavior is triggering to me and people keep doing it, and y'all not my family. So now I have the freedom to do and act on how I really feel. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, a lot of the things that we do need to heal from, it comes from family, like family background, you know, the relationships that you have with your parents, the relationships that you have with your siblings. If it's not a healthy relationship, 9 times out of 10, it's something that's triggering for you. It's something that you need to heal from. A lot of times we grow up in these families with people who are not like us. You know, like we don't have the same values. We don't look at things the same way. And it's hard for people to understand your point of view when they don't think like you. When you start to feel like, man, like nobody understands what I'm feeling or what I'm going through, that's gonna instantly start to cause some kind of action and behavior that's not healed. Because the thing is, you're looking for somebody to acknowledge that behavior. You looking for somebody to say, man, like they keep lashing out, like it's something else going on. You want their attention. It's like subconsciously you hoping that somebody is gonna notice and sit you down and talk to you. And sometimes that never happens because people are only looking at what they see on the outside and barely on what's on the inside. And a lot of people don't understand that a lot of behaviors are caused by inner factors, and they overlooked it. But self-realization comes in when you realize that it's a problem. It's different, and you don't hand that validation over to somebody else and put their responsibility in somebody else's hands, because 9 times out of 10 they are not going to notice because they're not looking that far ahead. And I want y'all to understand, like, validation is something that everybody seeks. Grown-ups, kids, everybody wants to feel understood. But it's a point in time where you're gonna have to learn how to validate yourself. You're gonna have to learn how to validate your feelings, because a lot of people don't care, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of people don't care about how you feeling on the inside. They not willing to look that deep. Sometimes it's gonna come a time in your life when at that point in time, that you are the only person that's gonna understand. Maybe later on in life you will meet somebody that be like, man, like I struggle with it too, but sometimes it's on you to figure it out. The last step is changing your behavior. Now, once you have acknowledged the behavior, you understand where the behavior is coming from. Now you think about, how can I correct myself? How can I change this behavior into something more positive so that I'm not reacting out of my emotions? How can I be triggered and recognize that I'm being triggered, but still not reacting and letting people know that I'm triggered? What behavior can I replace with this behavior? Now, for me, once I finally had this realization, which I think it was like my junior year of high school, I'm like, I'm tripping. I need to figure out something. Like, I need to stop letting people get reactions out of me and giving them away freely. For me, it was happening so much. Like, people was expecting this from me. They would do certain things and they were like, oh yeah, she gonna lash out if you do that. Like, they was living for those reactions. So I'm like, I'm tired of giving people what they want, and I'm tired of putting myself on a limb and just embarrassing myself because of how I'm feeling on the inside, because they think it's funny, but I'm really struggling. So I really had to take that into consideration. I'm like, so the next time I get triggered and somebody do something purposefully, what can I do? And I said that I was gonna walk away. I stopped giving them the reactions that they were looking for, and I stopped reacting on my emotions. And I started to think about the reasoning behind everything. When you keep the explanation in the back of your head, you're like, okay, I just got triggered, and I got triggered because I was disrespected, and I feel disrespected because I'm always feeling disrespected at home. But I cannot project how I'm feeling onto other people because of what's going on at home. So I'm just gonna walk away. And to be honest, y'all, it became one of the hardest things in my life, because I'm like, man, like, I really just want to lash the fuck out. And I'm like, I have to continue to like keep on practicing this behavior. And every time that I would get triggered, I would keep practicing. I would keep practicing. It wasn't easy, but once I kept practicing this behavior, it became easier. Y'all ever heard the saying, it was like, once you do something for 90 days, it become a habit? That's how healing works. When you start to continuously practice these behaviors in your life, it become a habit. Another thing is like just constantly reminding yourself, like, this is for the better. No matter how hard it is, no matter how triggered I am and how bad I want to react on my emotions and let people know that I'm hurting, they're not going to understand that I'm hurting. They just looking at my behavior. So it's on me to fix that behavior. And y'all, I'm 5 years in on this shit, and I'm damn near a pro at not letting motherfuckers take me out of character. I would sit there and laugh in your face. Honestly, y'all, it's one of my biggest accomplishments in life, because I remember telling myself, if I don't get my anger under control, this shit is gonna ruin me. I just seen the path that I was going down, and I'm like, I don't want to be that person. And I just changed all of it. And like I said, I'm 5 years in, and it took me a while, but I did it. And I just want y'all to know that it's possible. Healing, you're gonna be digging deep, you're gonna be going back into some things that you want to forget about. But when you just shed them tears and sit with it, and just try your best to work with it, if you have somebody there to help you through the process, that's even better. I promise. But it's worth it, and it is possible. I hope that y'all enjoyed these tips, and I hope that it was helpful for y'all. If y'all haven't seen some of my recent videos, go check them out. They may be helpful as well. Again, my name is Kalaisha. You can call me Kay. If y'all have any suggestions or anything, make sure you drop them in the comments. I appreciate y'all for taking the time out for watching my video. Y'all have a good one, and I will be back.